The most important aspect of diabetes care when you're a kid, even beyond your blood sugars, is going to be your emotional relationship with diabetes. Dr. Mustache at camp. I'm also Dr. Nicholson. There's a lot of studies that look at this, at specifically transferring responsibility to kids. 14 is a really tough age. And it's tough because at 14, you can do all of the things. You can do the math. You can draw up insulin if you're doing it that way. You can inject it. So those concrete skills you can handle, but there's pretty much, this is a very, very rare 14-year-old who has the developmental skills to organize their life around all the complex minute-to-minute management of diabetes that's required. They don't have the same, their frontal lobe is just not there, and it's not going to be there for a while. The studies have looked at different parental styles, and they've compared this scenario, this sort of like sink or swim scenario, where parents are like, hey, you got to do this one day, so you better just go ahead and learn how to do it, to parents who sort of know that sweet spot, exactly what's just enough in terms of helping their kids, and then parents who do more than they need to. And it's those last two groups actually where the kids do the best. It's where parents are either right there in that sweet spot, or they're actually doing a little bit too much. I think the trick is, how do you do that without being super annoying and getting into those conflicts? The most important aspect of diabetes care when you're a kid, even beyond your blood sugars, is going to be your emotional relationship with diabetes, because burnout is it sneaks up on you. It's hard to get out of, and it's very frustrating. So there's one psychologist I love, this quote from her, that diabetes should feel like brushing your teeth and not like cleaning the toilet. One way I think about this is things that we do for prevention. Let's say that you were in a piano recital and you're playing the piano. We've all seen people do this, and if that person is only thinking of like, oh my God, I just want to get through this and not make a mistake, because if I make a mistake, my life's a disaster, it'll be a humiliation, there'll be so much shame, then the best that they're ever going to feel is just relief. It just doesn't get better. It's just, that's what they're going to get. If they think about it somehow in a different mindset of like, wow, what could I get out of this? People are just going to be so amazed by the music that I make. I can see their eyes opening. I can feel this vibe in the room. It's so incredible. And I'm making this music. That's a very different thing. It's kind of like a promotion kind of thing, like looking forward. With diabetes, so much of, I think, what parents carry, and it's understandable, is this prevention mindset. And it's everything every day. It's like, the best I'm going to ever get out of this is just a relief that something bad didn't happen. And that's what our kids feel like too, right? I do think there is a way for kids to see the promotion side. That's sort of like, wow, I noticed that when I do these things, that I can really excel through my day, and I'm less stressed out. And they're not really carrying this idea of the disasters that could potentially happen and the pitfalls. They're more thinking about, how do I get through my game without having a low? What does it feel like when I look at my graph, or the numbers that I write down, or my meter or whatever, and I see numbers I feel good about. And so I really like this. I'm really inspired by this idea of this, call it 1% or 10% that we spend all of our energy on, that, may sort of like create the kind of emotional relationship that we don't exactly want our kids to have with diabetes.